Despite the nuclear crisis, Japan's financial market is rebounding following its biggest two-day plunge since the 1987 crash. Mike Duffy has spent the day watching the Nikkei in Tokyo. Mike, how is it looking today?
Chris, yesterday's plunge of 11% here at the Tokyo Stock Exchange sent financial shockwaves all around the world, leaving investors understandably nervous about today's opening. Thankfully, stocks started to recover today. Faced with the threat of a nuclear disaster, Japan's financial market went into meltdown. Plunging 16% since Monday, its worst two-day loss in more than 20 years. The Australian market hit a 7-month low yesterday as the impact was felt around the world. Today, the Dow Jones dropped 1.2%, London's FTSE retreated 1.4%, and Germany's DAX plunged 3.2%. Nervous investors dumped risky stocks and the Aussie dollar. But in our region, markets are bouncing back today as bargain hunters move in.
Investors are looking at this as a buying opportunity with a longer-term view.
Mining stocks, insurance, even uranium are back in favour. And good news for drivers, with the price of oil falling.
If their economy stalls, they won't need as much oil. That will bring the oil price down, will affect our pump price.
Sendai, where the tsunami caused the most destruction, is one of the country's main manufacturing hubs. Japan is a major exporter of high-end electronics. If factories here shut down, the impact will be felt by Australian consumers within months.
Eventually those costs will have to be borne from some other part of the world. So in the short term, for Australians, we might see a slight rise in the cost of TVs.
The same goes for Japanese-made cars and components. There's already evidence of a slowdown in consumer spending, and while an interest rate cut appears unlikely, there's still good news for mortgage holders.
We've got a rate hike priced in for May, but the risks are that gets pushed out to around August.
And Australia could also benefit long term as Japan starts to rebuild.
Their steel mills will be going flat out to produce the steel. That means they'll be wanting more coal and iron ore from us, so that'll be good for our economy.
In Tokyo, Mike Duffy, 7 News.
Checking the markets, the ASX 200 closed up 29 points today as mining companies clawed back some of their losses. Japan's Nikkei closed 3% higher and our dollar is still trading just below 100 US cents.